Weingut Melshammer started 200 years ago here in the lower part of Mittelmosel in Rheil. That is a very small town close to Traben-Trarbach. So now I'm the 5th generation in this line. So it's not really old for Mosel, but of course it has a little tradition. 20 years ago I came home after studying winemaking, and my first step was to change the whole thing into an organic winery. I'm responsible for a piece of earth, so that is my basic idea, that I feel responsible for it, and I try to give it to next generation minimum in the same quality, if possible better. For a few years now I'm really happy with the development. When I look in my vineyards, it's an enormous amount of animals and plants in my vineyards. Very different to conventional production. Especially in that time when I studied, everybody said, okay, especially you Mosel guys, when you want to do good white wine, throw away your wooden casks, and a lot of people did. And I was absolutely not sure that I do the right thing. But I came home, look in my cellar, and there's 60 different Fuder casks. And for me it was a very nice, pretty place. And that was the first reason why I kept it. And a few years later, when I started with this very natural fermentation and all the proceedings tried to do like 100 years ago, then I recognized that wood is the better place for doing things like this. So I'm not looking for the best wine. I'm looking for a really individual wine that shows my place, that shows me, that shows my idea. So we degorged this wine a few days ago after 1.5 years on the yeast. So it is sect, so sparkling wine, that has more a wine character than a champagne character. Riesling is a variety with a lot of fruit aroma. When you look at the champagne wines with the Chardonnay inside, it's a little less diversity of aroma inside, and so that makes much more sense to bring this own champagne style with this long yeast contact inside the glass. And here we are more on the wine taste side.
Yeah, we are standing here in our so-called Moloon vineyard. Yeah, Moulin Hofberg is a relatively cool place. We have a southeast faced mountain, so it's a morning sun vineyard. First of all, that shouldn't be a big difference to an evening sun vineyard, to a west faced or a southwest faced mountain. But there are two things I want to mention. First of all, the technical. We have very often, especially in harvest time, or in the late summer, we have fog in the morning here in the valley, so we don't have the morning sun. We have shade in the evening in southwest faced mountain, so we have less sun at all at the end. And so our grapes are not this ripe like in a south faced vineyard, and acidity is a little higher. So you can say that I'm a prophet of climate changing, because I still have a cool climate here to do this typical Mosel character. We are very lucky at the moment, because when we look at the white wine scene of the world, Riesling from here is one of the most popular. When we talk about Riesling especially, people always say this character, what you find in this rocky part of Mosel, like we are standing here in Moulin Hofberg, that is the character of wine everybody is looking for, everybody else in the world who is producing Riesling is going for. So it's not only my production in the cellar with the wooden cask and all the things I do not do in cellar. The place here is very important for my character of wine too.